Good afternoon, friends. Hello, Mike. Hello, Alex. Okay, friends, let's begin our class. You know that last class we were studying how to express ability in English. Maybe you remember. And we studied that in English, when we want to express ability, normally we use modal verbs, right? For example, we use can. Uh, I want to express an ability, I use can. I say, for example, I can speak English. I am expressing the ability I have for speaking English. Can, I repeat, is the modal verb we use to express ability, but there are problems, little problems, you know. When I want to make it negative, I use can't. For example, I can't speak Russian. I can't speak Chinese. I don't have that ability. So can for the affirmative present. Can for the affirmative present and can't for the negative present. In past, we use the past. Very simple. The past of can is could. When I was a little boy, I could visit my grandmother who was living near my house. I could visit my grandmother because she was living next to my house. Ability in past. However, I couldn't visit my uncles because they lived in a different state, very far away. See that? I didn't have that ability. It was impossible for me. Couldn't. So in general, I express ability using can for the affirmative present, can't for the negative present, could for the affirmative past, and couldn't for the negative past. But then we have the problems. We always have problems. One of the principal problems is that when I speak about an ability, but in the future, I cannot use can. Why? Because can is a modal verb and future normally needs a will. Will is another modal verb, and we never have two modal verbs together. Never. So will can is a big mistake in English. And what was the solution for this little problem? Well, using a synonym, because can has a synonym, which is able to, in combination with the verb be, you know. In present, am, is, are, able to. And you know this, we are going to select am, is, or are, depending on the subject. I am able to, he is able to, and we are able to. This is a synonym of can. In past, the synonym of could is the verb in past, was, were, able to. And then, I repeat, in case of future, when I cannot use can, we use the synonym. I will be able to visit you when I arrive in London. I will be able to visit you. See, I'm expressing something that I will have the ability to do in the future. In present perfect, the same problem. We never use I have can or I have could. It's not possible. So in present perfect, the same solution, be able to. I have always been able to solve my own problems. See that? I'm going to eliminate always in order to avoid confusion. I have always, no, let's eliminate that. I have been able to solve my problems. Have been able, not have could, because it is not possible. So in conclusion, can and the past could have limitations. Never in future, never in present perfect, never after another modal. Think of may, might. See that? They are modal verbs. May, might, must. They are modal verbs, so you cannot use may can or might can or must, can, impossible because they are two modal verbs, and two modal verbs never work together. Remember that, right? Limitations of can. Another little confusing sometimes, is that normally, friends, when I speak about an ability that I have in the past, but I am referring to something that was happening in my life only once or twice, no more, I cannot use could. If I am referring to an ability I had in the past during a long period of time, I use could. For example, remember the example of my grandmother. When I was a boy, I could visit my grandmother because she was living near my house. So it means for an English person that I did it repeatedly and repeatedly and repeatedly in the past. Could is acceptable in that case. But sometimes we have the possibility of doing something in the past, or we had the possibility of doing something in the past, but just one or two eyes. And in that case, or in those cases, could is not admissible. Example, I remember when I was 10 years old, my parents and I were able to visit Disneyland. Could visit. It was not repeated. Were able to. So when I am speaking about something that I was able to do in the past, but just once or maybe twice, but no more, able to is the solution. If I am speaking about an ability that I had in the past, and I was doing that repeatedly in the past, it was an ability that I had and I used a lot in the past. Yes, this is the perfect option for could. I could visit my grandmother very often because she was living near my house. So every day I visited her. Sorry. And that is, I am allergic to pollen. I'm allergic to everything, I think. Oh my God, what a problem. Well, and then what? That is the topic we were studying last class. Can, the modal verb we use to express ability. In present can, in past could. Or if not, in those cases in which can is not admissible, the synonym, able to, with the verb be. Right? Let's practice this because I think the best way of keeping something in mind is through practice. Training and training and training. So let's go to page 112 in the student's book and let's see exercise 3, page 112, exercise 3, expressing ability. Let's see the page. Give me a second. Let's see the page together. Here. Grammar, models expressing ability. Very good. Exercise number 3. Let's begin with exercise number 3 here. For questions 1 to 5, this exercise, for questions 1 to 5, complete the second sentence so that it has a similar meaning to the first sentence using the word given. Don't change the word given. You must use between 2 minimum and 5 maximum words, including the word given. It is similar to our exams, remember? Similar to our exams. So you have 4 sentences that you have to complete using ability, right? You have to remember the characteristic of ability. If you don't remember, on page, what page was it? Yes, on page 170, you have all the explanation necessary. I'm going to give you some minutes for you to do it in calm. So when you finish, send me a message and only then I will check the exercise. Let's do it. Mike, finished? And Alex finished too. Laura finished. I think we can check it because it says Mara hasn't succeeded in reducing the amount she spends. And now they want you to fill in the blanks. But for this exercise, you have to remember the phrasal verbs that we studied in the previous class on page number 111, right? And with this, or with those phrasal verbs, we studied one that was similar to reduce. Maybe you remember. So the answer is Mara hasn't been blank on the amount she spends. What is, or what did you write in that space in blank? So for Alex is able to cut down. For Mike, able to cut down, the same. Laura, the same. Yes, friends, correct. Mara has not been able to cut down on the amount she spends. Number two, you were lucky that you didn't have an accident. You were driving so fast. And now, what is your answer? You were lucky because blank an accident. You were driving so fast. What did you could have had for Mike? You could have had for Mike. Nobody else? Alex, you could have had. And Laura, you could have had the same. Very good. You all are correct. That's the correct answer. You were lucky because you could have had an accident. You were driving so fast. 3, did you manage to collect my books from the library? Similar question, using pick. Were blank my books from the library? What did you write in number 3? For Mike, is you able to pick up? For Alex, you able to pick up? And Laura? Okay, Laura, doesn't matter. But observe the answer of Alex and Mike, because the answers are perfect. Were you able to pick up my books from the library? 4, the shop is not able to deal with so many customers at the same time, and you have to use cater. The shop blank a large number of customers at the same time. What is it? This was very difficult in other classes. Number 4. Okay, the answer is the shop can't cater for such a large number of customers at the same time. So in the blank, can't cater for such. That is the answer. Check it out. I repeat, can't cater for such. Complete answer. The shop can cater for such a large number of customers at the same time. Difficult exercise number 4 for everybody.
Jerry.
Yes.
I put instead of this can cater for. It would be instead of 2, 1 point, no?
Exactly. Yes. Why? But let me explain why, Mike. Such is because that's what we say, such a large number. Because in the previous sentence, Mike, they use so. You see, so and such. When they give you so, they are expecting such, and vice versa.
Okay.
And vice versa. If they give you such, they are expecting so in your answer. Remember that in the exam. Okay, now let's do exercise number 4, page 112, because in other classes, my friends, it was difficult to do this exercise 4 here. Candidate often confused can, could, and able to. Correct the mistakes in these sentences. So now you have to correct the mistakes of other people. Imagine that. And it says, one of the sentences is correct. So one of the sentences is correct. Oh no, yes. Be careful with that, right? There are 8 sentences. Analyze them carefully. And when you finish, send me a message. Alex finished? Mike finished? Laura finished? Okay, let's see. In number one, it said, I can't carry everything, so I had to leave some things behind. I had in past. What is the problem here? In number one, the problem is can't. Yes, Mike. Yes, Laura. Couldn't or could not. Instead of can, en vez de. Instead of can, couldn't. I couldn't carry everything, so blah, blah, blah. Number two, I was very happy that I could meet all your friends when I visited you last month. What is the problem here, if there is any? Was able to for Mike. And you, friends, the rest of the class, what's your opinion? Was able to? Mike's suggestion. I think it is correct. Alex think it is correct. I was very happy that I could meet all my friends when I visited you last month. No, it is not correct, friends, because it is something, analyze the sentence, that happened when I visited you last month. It happened just once in the past. It was not repeated in the past. So for this case, Mike's idea is better. I was very happy that I was able to meet all your friends when I visited you last month. It's nothing that I did repeatedly in the past. No, it happened just once last month. So able to is the perfect choice. So was able to is the answer. 3. I'd be grateful if you can advise me about which book to buy. I'd be grateful if you can advise me about which. Good for Alex. Good for Mike. And also for Laura. Yes, correct. Could. I'd be grateful if you could advise me, blah, blah, blah. 4. I'm really pleased to hear that you could come to visit me next month. Is this sentence correct or incorrect? And if it is incorrect, what is the problem? We'll be able to, Mike. Same, Alex. We'll be able to. Okay, well, this is a solution, yes. We have two possible solutions here, right? You can say, I'm really pleased to hear that you will be able to come to visit me next month, or you can use can. And that is admissible, can. Sorry, I'm really pleased to hear that you can come to visit me next month. It is acceptable, can. 5, it would be much easier if you can find the information on the internet. What is the adequate verb here? Or is the sentence correct? Could for Alex, could have found for Mike. Okay, the answer is could. No could have found. And why? Very simple. Observe the conditional. Observe the conditional, Mike. It would be, see, no, it would have been. If they give you, it would have been much easier, your answer is correct. But it says it would be much easier, which is conditional, sorry, conditional number 2. It's number 2, that is, the condition is in past, and the other part of the sentence is with would, and the verb in simple form, would be. So this is conditional type 2, not type 3. Now, number 6, we could find the restaurant because it was advertised on the internet, and we had a nice meal there. What do you think of this one? Were able to for Mike. No more answers. Okay. Were able to. Alex, very good. Yes, friends, very good. We were able to find, yes, the restaurant because it was advertised on the internet and we had a nice meal there. 7, we hope you'll be able to offer us a discount if we stay in the hotel for 2 weeks. So this is a conditional. Check it out. Could for Alex. Mike think it is correct. Yes, this sentence is correct. You don't have to rectify anything because it is a conditional. Conditional number 1. The condition is in present. If we stay, the other part is in future. Will be able. So that, and why will be able? Because with will, we cannot use can't, remember. So will be, you'll be able to offer blah. This is perfect. 8, we should take a trip to London and visit the many shops that could be found there. Correct, incorrect, or what is the problem? For Alex, can, for Mike, can, and yes, can is the answer. Yes, we should take a trip to London and visit the many shops that can be found there. Very good, friends. Difficult, yes or no? Confusing sometimes because we have to keep in mind many little details. If it is a conditional, if it is future, if it is present perfect, if the person is speaking about an ability in the past, but it happened only once, or it was repeated in the past, because if it was repeated, I use could, but if that happened just once, I have to use able to, etc., etc. Many things to keep in mind. We need more practice. Let's go to the workbooks, page 40. Let me see page 40 in the workbook.
Jerry.
Yes, sir.
In this page, we have also 2 exercises for homework. I don't know if we have corrected today or another day.
Okay, let's correct it first. Let's go back. I'm going back. Thank you, Mike. Thank you. I forgot that.
Not at all.
Let's go back to the student's book. Sorry. So exercises 1 and 2, Mike.
Yes.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Alex. Very good. Well, listen, in order to save time, right? In order to save time, imagine that in number 1, which says it is possible, right? It is possible for me to do something. It is letter D and F. Check it out. If you have D and F in any order, F and D, D and F, this is correct. Number 2, it was generally possible to do something. Well, C and G. C and G. Now, it was possible, but it didn't happen. A and E. In number 3, A and E. In number 4, we managed to do, or we succeeded in doing something, B and H. B and H. Now, in exercise number 2, you have to circle the correct form of the verb in italics, etc. In number 1, were able to, check it, were able to. If you have were able to, your answer is correct. In number 2, couldn't sleep, couldn't sleep. This is the correct answer. Check it out. In number 3, could. If you have any question, tell me, right? No problem with that. In number 4, can you hear the neighbor's television? In number 5, I could have bought my tablet PC more cheaply online, but in fact, I bought it from my local computer shop. Could have bought. And in number 6, were able to. Although the shop was very crowded, we were able to get the shopping done quite quickly. These are the answers. Important to have the correct answer in your book. Yes, Mike, thank you. Thank you for reminding me that because I had forgotten. Now, friends, let's go, I repeat, to the workbook, page number 40, because there we have another exercise. Thank you, Mike. As always, friend, thank you for your cooperation. On page number 40, friends, we have exercise number 1, and this is a different way of practicing the same thing. And I thought it could be beneficial for you. Grammar, modals expressing ability, and there are 8 sentences. The instructions of the exercise say, complete these sentences with can, could, or the correct form of able to. In 3 of the sentences, there are 2 possible answers. So in that case, write them both. Okay, that is 6 sentences. No, they are 8. Sorry, now we are in the workbook. My God. This one, exercise 1, grammar. I'm going to give you some minutes as before, the same procedure. So you have your time to analyze everything. Don't get a rush because it's not necessary. But please, as soon as you finish, send me a little message. Alex finished. Alex and Mike have finished. And Laura finished. Very good. So he says, complete these sentences with can, could, or the correct form of able to. In 3 of the sentences, there are 2 possible answers. Number 1 is the example, so forget about it. Number 2, it says, I, negative, swim till last year. Until then, I was nervous about going in a boat. What did you write in the blank? I wasn't able to. Mike, I couldn't. Alex, I wasn't able to. And Mike couldn't. You know what? Both are correct. Both. It is possible to say I wasn't able to swim or I couldn't swim till last year. Both are acceptable. In number 3, I blank see Sarah in the distance. She'll be here soon. What did you write in the blank? Can for Alex. Okay, can is perfect. I can see Sarah. 4, I've made the main course for dinner, but I've been talking on the phone, so I blank, what is it? I blank, negative, made the dessert yet. Dessert. What do you think it is? Has not been able to for Mike, couldn't for Alex. Well, this time in number 4, there is only one option. So I haven't been able to make the dessert yet. Only this option with able to. I haven't been able. Right, very good. 5. When I was 14, I blank ran from my home to the school in 4 minutes. What is it? Good for Mike. Was able to or could for Alex. Yes, I prefer could, you know. I prefer could, but Cambridge says that the 2 options Alex mentioned are admissible here. Was able to or could. I prefer could, you know, because it's something I was able to do repeatedly in the past. But Cambridge says, no problem with this. Okay. 6. Blank, you speak Chinese by the end of the course next month? Next month? What's your options here? Will you be able to, Mike? Will you be able to, Alex? Yes, friends, very good. Perfect, perfect. 7. I blank go to last Saturday's match in the end because my friend had a spare ticket. Good for Mike, good for Alex. No, friends, I was able to go to it happens only last Saturday. It was not repeated. So able to is better here. I was able to go to last Saturday's match in the end. It was nothing repeated. It's only last Saturday. It is considered a success. Why? No, Mike, you need, for being a success, you need that they tell you in the sentence that something make it difficult. They have to mention difficulties for you to use able to, or I'm sorry, for you to think that it was a success thing. But you mentioned something, Mike, that is important, you know. Yes, sometimes I finally have the ability, or had, principally in the past. Finally, I was able to do something, right? But it was difficult. In that case, we use manage. I managed to pass the exam. It was difficult, you know, and I didn't have much time to study, but I managed. Instead of saying, but I was able to, or you see, as it was difficult because I didn't have much time to study, and the exam was very difficult, you know. In that case, we prefer using manage. I think this explanation is on page 170. The use of manage to replace was able to. We didn't mention today. Yes, Mike, I think so. We didn't study today that sometimes we can use can or able to, principally in present, you know. I can speak Spanish. I'm able to speak Spanish. Both are totally, completely similar. But you know what? Able to is more formal. And can is the normal speech, the normal language. So if you are in a very formal situation like a congress and a convention, or you know, an important meeting, people usually use able to because it's more elegant, and well, when it is possible to use can or able to, people choose able to because it's more formal. I didn't mention that at the beginning of the class, and I want you to remember that. Let's go to the final, number 8. My brother, blank, you have to use usually, fix the computer when it goes wrong. What did you write here in number 8? Could. And usually could or could usually. Alex, what do you think? So you use could. Usually could. No more answers. And you, Mike, what's your opinion about this? Do you agree with Alex? Is usually able to. Yes, this is better, Alex. The sentence is not in past. Yes, it's not in past. You can say, my brother is usually able to fix the computer, or my brother can usually fix the computer when it goes wrong. Two options here. But in present always, is or can. Thank you for the effort, right? You see, these are the secrets of expressing ability. When you study expressing ability and you study superficially and you don't go into details, maybe people think it's easy. But now that you have studied the secrets of abilities with can or past good or able, you see that there are many, many little details that we have to take into account. Don't forget that. Now, let's practice for the exam. We are in unit number 10, you know, and at the end of unit number 10, of course, I will tell you in advance, but at the end of this unit, we are having our mock test number 5. And it is very important for me that you pass it, because if you pass my mock tests, it means that you are doing well and that you are getting ready for the real exam with Cambridge. So I need to prepare you for that moment of the exam. I want to practice with you. So I'm going to attach, because it is not in the book. It is not in the book. I'm going to attach here in the chat an exercise dealing with use of English. Let me attach it for you to see it. Use of English, similar to the exam, but only one part. Use of English. I think this is it, use of English. Use of English part 1. You have it in the chat. You know that the characteristic of use of English in your exams, part 1, is always a text with the spaces in blank, but they give you options A, B, C, or D. Let me attach this part. And here you have the page where they give you the options A, B, C, or D. Let's try to do this exam, this part of the exam. It is not a complete exam, of course. Let's do this part of the exam to see how well you are trained for passing an examination. Anyway, I'm going to send this to you by WhatsApp because maybe you can see it better. Okay. Alex finished? Mike finished? Okay, listen. Desperate to go to school. Truancy, which in Spanish is, truancy is in Spanish, ausentismo, creo. Ausentismo escolar or something like that. Truancy has become a serious problem in many schools in recent years. In an attempt to tackle this problem, one school introduced a new scheme to what? What is the letter that you selected here in number 1, friends? C for Alex, C for Mike. Yes, friends, C is the answer. Encourage. To encourage students to attend as many classes as possible. Pupils who, number 2, opinions. What is the letter in your opinion? Alex C, Mike C, correct, friends. Letter C, achieved. People who achieved a 100% attendance record throughout the whole academic year were, and in number 3, A for Alex, and A for Mike, correct, rewarded. Were rewarded with an all-inclusive weekend school blank to an activity center. Number 4, B. B is the correct answer in number 4, trip. Yes, Mike. B is the correct answer, Alex. B, trip. A weekend school trip to an activity center where they would be able to have a go at what in number 5? A, B, C, D. C for Mike and B for Alex. Alex, you are right. Outdoor. To go at outdoor activities such as climbing, abseiling, and whitewater rafting. One student was so... What about 6? What letter do you think it is? C for Alex. And C for Mike. Well, no, friends. It is keen, was so keen to qualify, letter D, for this free weekend away that he even went to school with a broken wrist. He hurt his wrist when he fell his bike. He fell, number 7, letter C for Alex. You are correct, Alex. Letter C, off. Fell off his bike on the way to school, but he was so worried about number 8, B for Alex. Okay, B is correct. Maintaining his 100% attendance that he didn't. And in number 9, what letter do you think it is in number 9? A for Alex. A for Mike, correct. He didn't tell his teachers or parents until the school day had finished. He, number 10, letter A for Alex, letter D for Mike. Mike, you are correct. Eventually. Eventually, friends, It is a word that we use a lot in English, eventually this, eventually that, meaning al final. Synonym of in the end. Eventually is very popular in English. He eventually admitted to his mother what had happened when she, 11, D for Mike, and D for Alice, correct, noticed that he was having difficulty eating his dinner and asked him what was wrong. She took him to hospital that night where they put his arm in plaster and he was able to go back to school the next day. Fortunately, he was fully A for Mike, A for Alex, and you both are correct. Recovered from his accident. Very good, friends. How difficult? Yes or no? Very difficult exercise. Good.
Jerry,
Yes, sir.
sorry, one question. And with kin, kin is not followed usually by on, kin on.
Yes. When you say what, for example, I'm keen on tennis. I'm keen on mathematics. You see, when you
Sorry.
say on what, but in this case, it's a verb. It is
Mm.
a verb, and to qualify. So in that case, we use to. I'm keen
Sorry.
to go.
You can use ken or kin without on, no?
Yes, but Mike, when you are keen, cuando a ti lo que te entusiasma es hacer algo. A veces me entusiasma el ajedrez, me entusiasma la lectura. ¿Ves? Es un sustantivo on.
Mm.
I'm keen on reading, I'm keen on chess, pero a veces lo que me entusiasma es hacer algo, por ejemplo, montar bicicleta. I'm keen to ride a bicycle. Lo que quiero es nadar. I'm keen to swim. Do you understand the difference, Mike?
Yes. Okay.
Good, good, very good, friends. Now let's go to page 117 in the student's book. Page 117, 17, yes, here. Because on page 117, you have vocabulary and grammar review of unit number 10. I mean, a complete revision of all the topics studied in unit number 10. And they were many. They were many. Remember the phrasal verbs. Remember the abilities. My God. Remember the phrasal verbs that we studied in this unit. So I would like to begin with the vocabulary because we don't have much time. So let's begin with exercise number 1. Read the text and decide which answer, A, B, or C, or D, sorry, best fits each gap. Maybe when you are doing this exercise, you don't remember exactly all the information. Remember that we have this, where, friends? Where do we have the vocabulary of this unit number 10? Let me have a look, just in case you need to check it. The vocabulary, yes, the vocabulary on page 110, 111. 110, 111, in case you need to check it. Let's do it. Alex finished? And Mike and Laura, very good friends. Let's check the answers. I'm going to provide the answers and you check and compare with your answers. I'm going to do this because of the time, you know. Well, it says, according to recent research, teenagers are very, well, this is the example. It's letter B, sensitive, are very sensitive to price. They hunt for bargains, letter C. Check it out, bargains, letter C. And consider high prices a personal insult. They plan their shopping and don't just pop into, letter B, pop into shops and buy on impulse. Interestingly, parents have a lot of influence, letter D, influence, letter D. Parents have a lot of influence both over what is yes, how much teenagers spend on clothes and what they buy. Even if the teenagers have earned, letter A, have earned the money themselves from a part-time job. In short, teenagers worried about their parents' reaction to the clothes they, in number 5 is B, achieve. They achieve. Shops operate in a highly, well, in number 6 is B, competitive environment, letter B, competitive environment. So they make sure to, in number 7 is letter B, cater for young people's tastes by having a wide range of fashion clothes in, and in number 8 is letter A, in stock at any time, at any one time. So I repeat the answers. In number 1 is letter C, number 2 is letter B, number 3 is letter D, in number 4 is letter A, in number 5 is letter B, sorry, is letter C. In number 6 is letter B, in number 7 is B, and in number 8 is letter A. Check it out. We don't have time for more. So I'm going to assign a homework that is not in the book. And the rest of the vocabulary and grammar review is to be continued next class. Mike, my friend, remind me this because you know my memory. Next class, tell me, hey, Jerry, remember we haven't finished the vocabulary and grammar review. Is that okay, Mike? Good, good, very good. So what is the homework? A reading. Because I don't have time to dedicate it to reading here in class. Imagine that. So reading is something I need to assign as homework. Let's see the reading that I mentioned. Yes, here. Reading practice. They are 2 pages. This is page 6. And the other one is page 7, because in one you have the text and in the other page you have the questions. Yes, here. So this is your homework for next class, a reading comprehension, which some students told me that is not very easy. I don't think so, but I have to respect the opinion of my students, and they told me, Jerry, you know what? This exercise was rather difficult for us. I don't know, because I always notice that in your class things are easier, so maybe you are well prepared for that. You will tell me next class if you consider this reading difficult or not, right? Well, friends, that's all for today. Thank you very much for your patience, and see you next class. Bye, Laura. Bye, Mike. Bye, Alex. You are fantastic. Thank you very much. See you next week.